Joining us now is Brigadier General John Teichert. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Well, John, we know that Hamas has been open to extending the ceasefire past tomorrow. Do you think this is in good faith, or is this more of a tactic for Hamas so they can regroup and re-strategize?
Kelsey, it's going to be clear once Israel also confirms that they're willing to extend this fighting pause. They've expressed that they are willing, and the best thing they can do right now is to test Hamas to see if they are indeed willing to extend this pause.
Well, we know that only 20% of the hostages are expected to be released with this truce deal, and there are still reportedly close to 200 held hostage. Do you think they're still alive, and how much longer could it take them to get out of Hamas control?
Kelsey, I think every time we see a hostage released, we've got to go back to the brutality and the barbarism of Hamas, who use not just as a tactic, but a strategy, the slaughtering of civilians, the kidnapping of civilians, and then the use of human shields. Some of those hostages that we expect potentially to be alive are undoubtedly in very bad condition. Some are dead, but Israel has a passion and a desire to get back as many hostages as possible, and they're going to continue to negotiate in good faith to do so.
Well, if an extended ceasefire is not reached, what move can we expect from Israeli troops in their continued siege against Hamas?
Kelsey, we're going to continue to see them neutralizing and isolating Hamas, especially there in the northern part of Gaza. And they're going to continue to take the fight to Hamas in a way that forces Hamas to realize that they must capitulate and or start to release more hostages. And it's in their best interest to do so once they see the continued attacks by the IDF.
Well, U.S. troops have been hit by several attacks in Syria and Iraq. What can the U.S. do to stop this from continuing? And how close are we to sending more U.S. troops into the Middle East?
Kelsey, at my last count, there have been 70 Americans injured by these types of attacks, 1 killed, and there have been 66 or so attacks. And our only response have been a few pinprick attacks against Iranian-aligned groups. My experience in Iraq, specifically during the transition of administrations, demonstrated that the only thing that Iran respects is strength, capability, will, and resolve. And when they see weakness from the Americans, then it continues to give them a level of enticement to do these types of proxy attacks in Syria and Iraq, and also using their forces in Yemen and in Syria and in Lebanon to continue to wage this proxy war against Americans, against Israelis, and against other friendly forces in the area.
Retired Brigadier General, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on tonight, John Teichert.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.